Are you planning on seeing Detective Pikachu this Friday? I certainly am, but early reviews for the movie have come out and they're definitely mixed, which is to be expected from a movie that's based off of a video game. A lot of times movies that are based off of video games don't end up doing very well. I don't know exactly what the reason behind that is, but I do hope that Detective Pikachu is going to break that trend. The Pokemon Company is really stringent, very particular on how you use its IPs, so I'm pretty sure that they're making this movie not be a flop. There's also Ryan Reynolds that's voicing Detective Pikachu, and Ryan Reynolds is really big right now, you know, with Deadpool and all that stuff. But anyway, let's get into this review list. This is an article by Nintendo Life. I will leave a link in the description below, so if you want to read along with me, then you can. So it says the Metascore is 50 out of 100, which you can't get more average than that. I guess you could be at 70%. I think that's technically average. Rotten Tomatoes is currently sitting at a much better score at 74%. From IGN, I expect IGN to give it a 7.8 out of 10. Too much water. It says Smith's character gives the story an emotional weight, and Reynolds delivers an endearing comedic performance that's closer to his subversive Deadpool shtick than you'd expect. While video game movies haven't had the best track record, the movie is by and far the best example of how to do one right. That's what I'm hoping for. I really hope that this guy knows what he's talking about, because that's basically what I just said. The Guardian, Steve Rose, 3 out of 5. So 60%. Without Reynolds, this would be pretty run-of-the-mill. With him, it's a perfectly acceptable family movie. Given the history, that's a giant leap for Pokemon kind. I was thinking it was going to say leap forward. That actually sounds pretty good. I mean, it says without Reynolds, you know, it would be just kind of eh. But with Reynolds, that makes it pretty good. I don't know why it's just a 3 out of 5. It should be a 3.5 out of 5 if you're saying that it's pretty good. The Verge, Julia Alexander. Detective Pikachu is a fever dream, a product of nighttime car rides with a Game Boy, staring up at street lamps that pass you by, painting darkened sky with wild imaginations of what a world full of Pokemon might feel like. Detective Pikachu is a silly, almost hallucinogenic ride. Okay, hold on. Let's look into it just for a second. So it says there aren't any gasp-inducing twists or turns. The entire film's plot is guessable within the first 25 minutes, which isn't surprising considering it's aimed at kids and tweens. I am neither of those. Pretty much, they're just saying it's predictable. Screen Crush, Matt Singer, 5 out of 10. That's pretty bad. Beneath the predictable story, Detective Pikachu isn't about much. If you need Wikipedia to explain who Mewtwo is, most of the jokes will go right over your head. I feel like he was one of those people. The whole thing is a bit too childish for adults and a bit too convoluted for kids. And it absolutely deserves an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects, however, even if the subject matter makes me think it's unlikely to receive one. Yeah, I do agree with that last part. They did make Pikachu look really good. He's all fuzzy. He looks adorable. Ludicolo looks kind of weird though, but we won't delve into that. Variety. Peter DeBridge. Though consistent with the game, a few extra but obvious twists thrown in for good measure, the story of Detective Pikachu doesn't allow nearly enough Pokemon-related action, while the quality of the computer animation falls far short of the basic level of competency audiences have come to expect from effects movies. But that's a stark contrast between this last one. This one said it deserves an Oscar for best visual effects, and this one says the effects suck. Empire, Ollie Richards, 3 out of 5. It's impossible to overstate how much this film owes to Ryan Reynolds. Even if you don't understand Pikachu's world, everyone can understand a great joke superbly delivered. I guess that's what that one of the first guys was saying. The first guy that gave a 3 out of 5. The movie would be okay without Ryan Reynolds, but with Ryan Reynolds, that makes it more watchable, I guess. Or maybe they're saying it wouldn't be very good without Ryan Reynolds, but that makes it watchable. The Associated Press, Mark Kennedy. Live-action feature film adaptations of video games have proved a dicey proposition in the past. For every Mortal Kombat, there's a Prince of Persia. I haven't seen either of those. This one feels like a venal money grab from a mega corporation. You've played Pokemon Go, right? Call this one Pokemon Don't Go. Pokemon Don't Go to the polls. Since he's the last one, let's look into that real quick. We meet some cool Pokemon mixed with a climate change joke and an attempt to burn a miming Pokemon with mimed gasoline. The film explores daddy issues and also riffs of Silence of the Lambs. So I guess with Ryan Reynolds, you're gonna have some kind of jokes that maybe don't belong in there. 1.5 stars out of 4. Well, that's about the end of this article. They're just saying that Eurogamer and Polygon had fairly mixed to positive reviews on the whole, but both highlighted the joys of Pokemon themselves. Cerebi scored the film 4 out of 5. Of course, it's a Pokemon-based site. Perhaps this suggests that the film is great for fans of the series, while simply being okay for those who don't know the Pokemon world. So that's about everything. Feel free to let me know what you think this movie is going to end up being, whether you think it's going to be a good movie or you think it will be a bad movie. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.